Hi, my name is Nick Walsh and I coach the back line. My sporting journey sort of taken a few twists along the way. As a 17-year-old came from Ireland to Australia to go on the rookie list at Melbourne, and from there didn't make it, broke down with injuries, returned home to Ireland to pursue a career both in working Gaelic football and also playing Gaelic football with my local team Caven and Caven Gaels being my club, and then returned to Australia in 2011 to take on a role in strength and conditioning here at the Giants. The thing I miss about Ireland is, we get a lot of, there's a lot of great food here, but your Irish stews and stuff like that, and the boys always get into me because I make some sometimes and bring them into the clubs, the big potatoes and meat and stuff like that, or the meat and the veg. And in Ireland, everyone lives so close to each other, and literally, you're walking distance to everything. Well, in my hometown in Cavan anyway, and you can just pop into the neighbour's house at 10 o'clock at night for a cup of tea. That's one of the big things in Ireland that I miss. When I was young, my dad introduced me to Australian rules football, and when I was 7 or 8, we used to get it on TV back in Ireland, and I don't know, I always had in the back of my mind that I'd love to be an Australian rules footballer one day. I pursued that career, didn't make it, and then I'm a pretty driven character, so I wanted to sort of try and get it back in through a coaching route if I could. So and right now I'm progressing into coaching and really enjoying working at the Giants. The rewarding thing is when you go home and after having a win, and did you put your plan into place that you practice during the week with the rest of the coaches, and it's quite rewarding from that point of view. And on the flip side of that, when it doesn't happen, it's pretty tough too. We at the Giants, and I guess like most other clubs, have a really good set of coaches. We've up to 9 or 10 coaches at the club, including Leon as head coach, and Leon's very open to ideas and suggestions, and most of his meetings are led via questions and asking us questions on opposition or what we've done well, what we need to improve, all that sort of aspect. And Leon, as I said, very approachable, and it's a good cohesive group. During the game and in the coach's box, it's obviously a frantic time, but our best moments in the coach's box are when we're performing on the field or when we're not performing on the field, and we've already pre-planned or foreseen what's going to happen, and we've discussed that during the week as a group, and then we can have a more relaxed conversation in the box rather than everyone sort of at each other. The final what if meeting is today, so the what ifs sort of are what if scenarios. So what if this happens, what if that happens, and there's a bundle of scenarios that could happen, and a lot of them don't happen, but some of them do. And that probably starts after match committee one, say on a Monday or Tuesday evening, when you ever start looking at selecting the first team, because you pick a team in terms of who's available, number one, but also on the opposition strengths as well, and how we can counteract that, and then all these what ifs fit into play. So the meeting here in the lounge before we jump on a flight is really a consolidation of have we covered all the key aspects, what are they, and what are we going to do in our last captain's run training. Data analysis over the last number of years it's changed dramatically, even in the last 2 years, since I've been really into the depths of coaching here. And we've got a really good analysis team headed up by Jamie Ryan, and the information that they serve us, they just keep coming, and it's sometimes you're not even looking for it, but it just keeps coming, but now it keeps you on your toes. It's really good. Can you overanalyze? Probably can sometimes, but what you have to do as a coach is filter that into the right direction in terms of what the players are actually seeing versus what we as the coaches use as well. Data is always a reference point, and GPS is always a reference point, I think. But you have to go on your gut feel, because what you see in the 120 minutes of play is vital, but then in terms of your review and going back in it, that's where your data kicks in. Throughout the game, I'll use maybe 5 or 6 key things that relate to my gut feel as well, just to make sure that we're on the same track. But definitely gut feel plays a massive part of coaching and what you're seeing on game day. We're on a journey at the moment, and I think like our key message to our players is about performance. We don't use the word winning an awful lot, because you still need to perform, and then the winning will take care of itself. So you still got to go out and perform each week, and even in training sessions you got to go out and perform to a level that will allow you to perform on the weekend, and then those expectations will take over in terms of what happens on game day.